Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Welcome to the Lion's Den, where we exposing all the evil and still showing love to our people. Welcome to the Lion's Den, where we taking care of the pride. Now watch us start exposing all the lies. Welcome to the Lion's Den, like Picasso we painting pictures, freely giving the knowledge from the scriptures. Welcome to the Lion's Den, where we always putting in work. The prophets of God are back on the earth. Welcome to the Lion's Den.
Got the heart of a lion, created to endure and keep fighting.
Welcome to the Lion's Den.
God made me to triumph. His statutes and his laws, I apply them.
Welcome to the Lion's Den.
This walk won't be easy. The power's in his might. You just gotta believe.
Welcome to the Lion's Den.
Yes, Christ is still alive. He's coming to redeem the 12 tribes.
12. Israel, you are now tuned into the Lion's Den radio show.
That's
radio
right.
show.
That's right.
Hey, how y'all doing, man?
Hey.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the world. How y'all doing out there, world? Talking to all those lost Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If you didn't know, now you know. You're the Israelites.
Hey.
We made another week. Once again, we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Captain OC.
Officer Kimuel.
Officer Aaron.
Officer Nathaniel.
All right, so we'll be your host today for the Lion's Den radio show. We got a lot of good content.
Absolutely.
But before we get into that content, I like to, break the ice. How was you, man, week this week? What about you, Officer Aaron? How was your week, big dog?
Pretty good. Long. Couldn't wait to get back to the school. So
Yeah.
Praises. Made it through another week.
So, you said back to the school. Where you been at?
Uh-oh.
On injured reserve.
Oh,
I was on injured reserve. MOV football game put me out.
Dang.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. You was on
2
the
weeks.
IR.
I'm icing on the couch. Watching Bishop class.
All praise, all praise. Hey, Brian.
Lines in the field that tripped him up.
Dang. What about you, Officer Anthony? How your week been?
Hey, everything been good, man. Copacetic, man.
LeBron James.
Hey, I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but I think the backdrop looks a little different, y'all. The set looks good. Hey,
right.
Got to bring that
we
out.
want to hear from the people. What y'all think about the new look Lion's Den radio show? If you want to call in, we want to hear your comments. It's 863-877-0693. You know, a lot of brothers put in a lot of work to make the set look nice.
That's
So
right.
you want to call in, share a few comments, go ahead. But until then, you know what we do on the Lion's Den radio show. We gonna bring it out.
Bring it out.
Bring it out.
So Officer Kimuel gonna lead the show today. He put it together. So let's get right into it, man. What you got?
Thanks for that.
Surprised them.
So let's see. What's our first article? So 5 police officers quit after a man dies, pleading. Do you think I want to die?
Dang.
So once again, we have a brother or sister of ours dying in police custody.
Bang. Hey, y'all got something else for them to look at? That's kind of far away. We got somewhere else?
Right. You gonna blow that up?
Hey, brother's gonna go blind trying to read that.
Who's reading today? Who's reading today?
I'll read. All right. It says 5 police officers have quit before they could be fired after failing to get medical help for a man who died in custody.
Wait a minute, hold on. They quit before they was fired, right? Hey, now you know that's what we do.
Right.
I
ain't want this job anyway.
Right.
That's what black folks do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that also mean they know they was guilty.
Right.
They got up out of there.
Knew they was going to get fired.
Right.
Dang.
Distressing footage shows Harold Easter say, "Do you think I want to die?" as he gripped a table in his cell. The 41-year-old had swallowed cocaine after being stopped by police in Charlotte, North Carolina, CNN reports. Scroll up. Officers were aware that he had swallowed the drugs during the arrest, but did not get him the attention he needed, investigators said.
So what you're showing me is they was more concerned about getting this man in jail, getting him booked, and meeting their quota than it's actually health of him. And they knew that he had did the cocaine.
Yeah.
So this is showing you that these people, they do not care about us as individuals. Because I can guarantee you, if that was one of their own, they would have made sure that they would have took him to the hospital, and then they would have put him in cuffs or whatnot.
Right.
But after he's under medical care.
Right.
What's the proof of that? Somebody find a picture of Dylan Roof. Because if you can kill, how many people killed? 9 people.
Like
you
9,
can kill
yeah.
9 people, and they're gonna make sure your needs are met before they take you in.
Right.
But when it's our people, they don't do that.
Take it at Burger King.
Right.
Nice America.
Yeah, pull that picture
This
up.
is America. You're absolutely right about that.
Is that the bag in his hand? I can't see. I'm blind. So this is Dylan Roof. His medical needs was he was hungry. So after he did what he did and he was in police custody, they made sure he was taken care of before they booked him.
Right.
But brother right here has intaked cocaine and he died in a cell. Dang. Matter of fact, let's get this. Bishop brought this out last night. Let's go to Isaiah 51, hidden in prison houses. Was it 42 and 22? Yeah, 42 and 22. This article is showing you the prophecies of the Bible are true. This is where a lot of our brothers and sisters die.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22.
Bring it out.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
This is a people robbed and spoiled. Read.
They are all of them snared in holes. And they are hid in prison houses.
A lot of times when we read that and we say they hid, we know that it's talking about, the large amount of brothers and sisters that are in there. But they also hid by death. A lot of people, when they go into prison, they're not seen, they're not heard, they die, and nobody knows about it.
Right.
By the millions. I forgot what the number was that you was paying attention. What did you say the number of us was?
Well, you talking about the population?
Right.
Well, the population of the United States, including all the people in the United States, is less than 5% of the world population.
Dang.
But yet, we make up the largest in this country, the largest prison population, and our men, make up half of that.
Right.
So,
Hey, finish that scripture real quick.
They are for a prey.
They are what?
They are for a prey.
They are for a prey. You know what a prey is? Prey is something that gets eaten. That's what happened to this brother.
Right.
They preyed on him and they made sure they got the arrest. They got him booked. They got him all that before they took care of him. Read.
And none delivered.
And what?
And none delivered.
That's the key part right there. This brother was in need of help to be delivered. He needed medical help.
Right.
Did they deliver him? Absolutely not. Read.
For a spoil.
For a what?
For a spoil.
Read.
And none saith restore.
You see that? Nobody says restore. I guarantee you it won't be an $18 million policy or a $20 million policy for his family. And at the end of the day, nothing can repay your life.
Right.
Go to Ecclesiastes 4:1 real quick. It's the last one I want. Let me show you something. This is what's happening to our people. This story is a perfect example of that.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 1.
So
I returned and considered all the oppressions
So I considered all the oppressions. Read.
that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed.
Right. That's what this brother, that's tears. Brother said, do you think I want to die? You telling people that have the authority, they have the ability.
Right.
They have the power
Right.
to keep you alive. Even though we're not justifying the brother. Brothers in wickedness.
Right.
Selling cocaine, smoking cocaine, all that stuff. What did that lean on me? You smoke crack, don't you? What that Sam? But at the end of the day, the police have a role to play.
Right.
They're supposed to protect and serve.
Serve and protect.
Right. Serve and protect.
Right.
Yeah, you used to be a police officer. So they have their role to play. Read.
And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed,
Read.
and they had no comforter.
And what?
They had no comforter.
You see that? We don't have no comfort. The police ain't for our help. The EMTs ain't for our help.
Right.
The teachers ain't for our help.
Right.
The government ain't for our help.
Right.
The Israelites don't have any comfort here. This is the land of our captivity. Read.
And on the side of their oppressors, there was power.
What is it?
On the side of their oppressors, there was power.
On the side of the police officers, there was power. Because they could have opened up the prison cell. They could have took the chains off, and they could have got him medical access.
Right.
But he didn't have that power. And his own people couldn't deliver them in that situation. Because that's when once you get in that system, can't nobody save you. Your mama can come up there, your daddy can come up there, they can tell you. If they don't want to let you go, they don't. And you'll die. You'll die.
They don't give you bond. They don't give you bond.
Right.
You ain't getting out.
There you go.
I do want to go back to Isaiah chapter 42. Yes,
Bring
sir.
it out. Bring it out.
And jump down to verse 24. Because like you said, we are in this position, right? We are people robbed and spoiled. We can see that on a grand scale, right? But we're going to show you exactly why these things are happening. Because a lot of people say, yeah, we see that on a grand level, right? And we look for any solution out of it. We go into voting, right? We go into protesting, whatever it may be, right? But we're going to show you exactly why we in this situation, all right?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
So the scripture above says we are for a spoil, but who gave us for a spoil? All right, go ahead.
And Israel to the robbers.
Right, because what did they do? They not only took us, they took our land, they took our nationality, took everything. Right, go ahead.
Did not the Lord?
Did not who?
Did not the Lord?
Right, go ahead.
He against whom we have sinned.
Because we have sinned against God. So that's why we are for a spoil. That's why we fill the prison houses, right? Go ahead.
For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law.
Because we refuse to keep the laws of God.
There you go.
So that's why we put ourselves in this situation.
Absolutely.
We put ourselves in this situation. Nobody's gonna get us out, but we have to keep the commandments of God. All right.
That's right. Excellent preach.
I got something I want to bring out, but I want to show the video.
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't know there was a video.
Pull the next one up, and let's see the video of it. All right. Because, okay, you got it? You ready? All right, let's go.
The disturbing videos released by CMPD, they show Harold Easter in police custody. He was arrested for drug possession back on January 23rd. While in custody, he reportedly swallowed some cocaine and then suffered a seizure. Easter died 3 days later. Since the incident, 4 officers and a sergeant involved have resigned. Let's bring in WCNC Charlotte's Alex Shabbat. Alex, these videos were hard to watch.
Yeah, that's certainly true, Fred. Chief Jennings says it's one of the most difficult videos he's ever had to watch. So we do want to warn you again, it's very disturbing. And we want to start with that traffic stop on January 23rd.
Put your hands up!
It starts on January 23rd when officers pull over the black SUV with guns drawn. Easter's in a red hoodie in the driver's seat, while another man is in the front passenger side and a third person in the back. Then officers indicate they have reason to believe Easter swallowed cocaine.
Yeah, he was trying to eat it.
Easter is taken into handcuffs into the patrol car. Chief Johnny Jennings says that's when officers should have called for an ambulance, but didn't.
As soon as they secured Mr. Easter in handcuffs, somebody should have gotten on the radio and asked dispatch to start medic their way to do an evaluation for him.
Instead, they start heading to the police station on Beatty's Ford Road. When they pull up to the building, Easter gets out of the patrol car and had been repeatedly asking for water, but was initially denied. And it wasn't long after that things took a turn for the worse. Another video in the interview room shows officers giving Easter water, and then they go off the screen. About 25 minutes later in the video, with Easter apparently alone in the room, he makes a dire warning. Moments later, he's screaming incoherently. And then about 3 minutes after that, Easter collapses and appears to be convulsing on the floor.
So the brother, now you could tell he's in medical distress.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Right. Even though he's in custody, he's in medical distress. But you know, to your point, yeah, we bring this upon ourselves, right? Yes, but what I find interesting, we'll be at a camp, and it'll be these same brothers that'll go against the doctrine and be like, hey, y'all racist, God love everybody. Right. We racist because we telling you the best people on the greatest people on the face of the earth. But then this is how they do you in custody, right?
Yep.
So I want to read Isaiah. I want to read Psalms, actually. Psalms 58. I want to read Psalms 58.
Hey man, that video, how can you see a man? Yeah, how can you see him? You see he's clearly out of his mind, and you already knew he had the cocaine in his body.
Right. You knew the reaction that was going to come from it.
Wow.
And when the brother said it was hard to watch, no, it's hard for us to watch.
Yeah, right.
It ain't hard for them to watch.
Right.
You know.
With no problem.
3 through 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
That's the point that I wanted. They're like the deaf adder that stoppeth their ears because they don't hear our cries for help. Not at all. And they probably on the other side. I wouldn't be surprised if they're on the other side of the wall,
laughing and giggling.
Yep. You know,
Right. Giving a countdown.
Right.
How long you think before you start seasoning?
Right.
Verse 5. Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers.
Because when you in that position and you begging, you trying to charm them, just like the last one where we saw the sister flipped upside down in the back of the police car, begging the officer, calling him master.
Right.
You know, it says, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers. Go ahead.
Charming never so wisely.
So I wanted to bring that out, but I wanted to get the visual effect that this is what they do to us. And our people have got to wake up and understand who God said that our enemies are.
Right. All right, let's go to the next material that we got. So what we got next? Yeah, I saw this one. This one.
Yeah.
This for all you what is NFAC members out there.
Right.
That think y'all ready for a war with Esau. Okay. Hey, you know, before we even read the article, Jake, as a nation, who was waiting on the stimulus checks?
Right.
Black people was waiting, paying. We still waiting. We like, when that second one coming?
Right.
Meanwhile, we got some Jake that's talking about they want to go to war with Esau. Come on, man.
They holding up the check.
Nope.
Right. After they buy up all the ammo.
Exactly. But the fact is, when you go to war, when you read Luke 14, you gotta count the cost.
Right.
To go to war means you have to have supplies. You gotta have bullets, guns, food, water, shelter, in many different places. Not one place.
Right.
If you only got one place, they bomb that. Then what?
Right.
You done? Dang. Go ahead.
You're gonna see also when we read this article, and I got a video for this too. How much Esau lies, because I know some brothers that have tried to get ammo, right, and you go to the store and they may or may not sell you the ammo that you want, and then they're only gonna give you a box of it. I think Captain REA bought that out on Patient Saints,
right?
But to their people, they can get what they want,
right.
They can get what they want, you know. Hey, let's go ahead and read that.
Americans are frantically buying military gear before the election. Conflict is on America's streets in 2020, and tactical apparel has become a lifestyle industry serving militarized law enforcement agents and freelance gunmen who emulate them. Less than 2 weeks before...
Wait, you read that. Well, you got to go back and read that.
Yeah, it went over my head.
It says conflict is on America's streets in 2020, and tactical apparel has become a lifestyle industry serving militarized law enforcement agents and freelance gunmen who emulate them.
Stop. That's what I wanted to see.
Right.
Freelance. What does that mean?
That's the vigilantes.
What does that mean?
The vigilantes.
What is that? So freelance, you know, that's those that they fake like they cops, pull you over, right? Go out in their tactical gear,
right.
Right.
What do they call the I forgot the name of it. What Crime Stoppers? Is that what's it called? What was Trayvon Martin?
Neighborhood Watch.
Neighborhood Watch.
Right,
That's
right.
your Neighborhood Watch.
That's your freelance.
Yep.
Yeah, he was George Zimmerman. He
Yep.
was
Right.
He was freelance.
Yep.
You know. Go ahead.
Freelance gunman.
The ones that killed Ahmaud Arbery.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Same thing.
Right.
Same
Same
exact
thing. That's
thing.
what we're looking at. Go ahead.
Less than 2 weeks before Election Day, orders are rolling in. Since last year, online purchases have driven a 20-fold jump in sales of goods like the 220 CM6M gas mask resistant to beanbag rounds for mirror safety of Austin, Texas. It doesn't matter who gets elected, founder Roman, I can't even pronounce that, said of his new customers. They said they think that no matter who wins, Biden or Trump, there are going to be people who are upset about the result.
Right. And this, before you go, when you watch The Social Dilemma, it talked about this. It talked about how heightened things is in America right now, or how heightened they are right now in America. Whereas they've made things so opposite. They make everything the polar opposite. Like back in the day, Republican, Democrats, like, all right, but if the other party won, you'll be mad and then you support the president.
Right.
But right now, it's like if your person don't win, you want to raise hell. Like you got to be what they call a sore loser. Like, I can't support them. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Remember the group though? It was a group. They did good old boys, but they were saying if Trump lose, then they coming after everybody. I forget their names, but
the Proud Boys. The
Proud Boys.
Yep.
So it show you it's really not true if Trump or Biden win. It's if
just
Trump lose.
Yep.
That's the only thing they care about.
Exactly. If Trump lose, it's going down. And if Trump win, Esau gonna set up.
Right.
He gonna set up blacks and Hispanics to protest through Black Lives Matter and all the other stuff. Because we don't really care about politics.
Right.
Black people care about politics 2 weeks before the election. I guarantee you. We do we should pay Facebook to do a scan of how many political posts happened from African Americans from 2021 to 2023 compared to 2024 and watch what the numbers are.
Right.
It's gonna be 0 to 48 million. Watch. Go ahead, though.
It says, not long ago, perhaps a generation dressing like you're going to war was for the veteran who never quite made it back from Vietnam, or the angry young men who obsess over gas masks and combat boots at the military surplus store. Every American town seemed to have one, and only one.
You know what though? Think about how America, well, I say Esau, they glorify war.
There you go.
Okay, look at your video games.
Yep.
Right. The favorite video games are war games. They always have the war themes. You could go on Time Life and get the relive all the wars that have been fought, in America. They have a warmonger minds, which we'll get, the prophecy of that, but this should not be surprising at all. And even what's that, Doomsday Preppers?
Right.
That's a show that I used to watch because I wanted to see, how different is the mind of Esau.
There you go.
And they have their children as young as 5 and 6 years old while we putting our kids in football and they got them already in shooting competition.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing how taking them to the ones that are in the farms, they already taking them.
Yeah.
Their animals and getting awards for them and all of that. They are prepared. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Natural born killers.
Right. And we can't. Right now, in the minds that we currently are in, we can't compete with them.
Hey, and also I want to hit on what you said earlier. You said that Esau glorifies war. I didn't even realize that. I know me growing up, I had PS2, PS3. I don't know if y'all had video games back then, but I
had Madden 1.
But when I was playing the video games, y'all might get the Call of Duty and
Right.
what was the other? I think it's I forgot the other name. The major
007?
not
Battlefield.
007,
It was
not
something like that.
Battlefield. But anyway,
I know
it
what
was
you're talking about.
one of them. But then you play World War One,
Mm-hmm.
and you go through World War Two, and you go through all these. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's brainwashing you to be in that mindset,
Yeah.
and to love it, and you learn the history. They put that history in everything.
Right.
Like
Right.
I didn't even catch on to that. But Esau makes you an American. So
Right.
everything down to your video games, how you dress, to what you watch, to the curriculum, it all flows together. But when we try to do that, what happens? Live stream say, hey, y'all got to get off.
Nope. Right.
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 That's what happens.
Right.
Can't even speak about the other stuff we got coming because they're going to try to take that down
Yep.
too.
Right.
But that's the way this thing works, man.
I was watching earlier Deacon Athon's class.
Right.
Deacon Athon was bringing out some heavy history,
Oh.
right? Then it said stream stop
Yep. Yep.
Man.
Yep.
Wow.
Shut 'em down.
for about 10, 15 minutes, you know?
Hey, I want to bring out a scripture real quick. I'm just going to show y'all that we don't want war with Esau. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
That ain't what you want.
Nah.
What you want is Christ to return. He can
Right.
take them on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But us right now, like you said, in our measly bodies and our unmind like mind, it ain't gonna work.
Hey, Cat, we can't even stand in the line for a Popeye sandwich.
Right.
So we definitely ain't ready for it.
Some
Yeah.
people can't even
Right.
stay in order for a chicken sandwich.
Damn.
Yet you think you want war?
Nah.
Right.
Nah, we ain't ready for
Not
that.
without the power of the Most High. you know?
Right.
Go to Genesis 27, and let's start at verse 40.
The
Show
book,
y'all something about Esau.
the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 40.
Start at 38.
Bring it out.
Start at 38. I'm gonna show y'all the prophecy of why this man will not be defeated with arms that he created.
Right.
Right.
Because when you go back to Genesis 4, it shows you who created the weapons first.
Right.
Right.
And where that spirit rested with. Bishop went over that
Right.
many a time. I ain't going into it today,
Right.
but it didn't start with us. Tell you
Right.
that much. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 38. And he said unto and Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above.
So the first blessing that the Most High God gave to Esau is that he's going to dwell in the fatness of the earth. Meaning he's going to have the best real estate on the planet.
Right.
You want to know why Orange County in California is by white people? Because God set it up like that.
Right.
You want to know why the Russian the Alps and all these different locations Esau is there? Because that's how God set it up.
You're a white man.
How do you go to Haiti and they got the resorts?
Right.
How do you go to Africa and they on the beach?
Right.
Because the Most High set it up like that. Keep reading though.
Verse 40. And by the sword.
And what?
And by the sword.
And by the sword. If you simple and you can't translate it, that's guns today.
Right.
By the gunplay, trigger play, what they call it nowadays.
Yeah, that's what they
It's
call
a
it.
gunplay.
No. What's the other name they got for gun? What's the code
Heat.
word? Yeah, the heat, or whatever else.
Hey, I might be
The
old.
Draco, that's
I might
what
be
it
out
is.
of date.
Yeah, you think the Draco is only for black people? No.
Right.
Read.
And by the sword thou shalt live.
Read.
And shalt serve thy brother.
Read.
And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So by the sword Esau will live. It is in his blood. Esau been waiting for war since the Civil War.
Dang.
Right.
They waiting for action.
He can't wait. He is waiting for that. He can't wait for Negroes to rise up. They
Right.
be mad when we get 1,000 men together and we ain't violent.
Right.
Which do you think is?
I wish it would.
Right.
Right.
He's waiting.
It's
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
It showed too that they on another level, because I remember just being younger, I used to always think like we would try to fight physically. And we knew better, like we was better fighters physically.
Right.
But they ain't thinking about fighting physically. They
go.
got bombs, they got guns, they got all these different things, drones that can blow stuff up. And we thinking on a minuscule level, like y'all saying, so we ain't prepared to go against this man at
You
all.
can't do it.
Right.
You
right.
can't do it. You will lose.
And-
Thus saith the Lord.
Right.
Right.
And I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit. You know, when I was young, they wouldn't even fight us one on one. Like rarely did you ever see a brother fighting Esau one-on-one. They would wait until they had numbers to try to jump us.
So you mean to tell me black people got jumping from Esau too?
Esau would jump us. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Squad up.
Because you know, you done seen it. Brother take on 2-3 tonight.
Right.
They ain't doing that, you know, with no level of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Unless they got about 8. You know, that's how they would do. But hey, read on, because you ain't get that all that meat off of that bone right there.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of his blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob.
So Esau said, I will slay my brother, right? So, you know, brotherly love. Yep. Yeah, you don't have brotherly love, Esau.
Right.
All right, read on. Let's see the feeling he gonna get.
Verse 42. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself.
Wait a minute. Esau put his hands on you, and he get comfort out of that thing.
You're a white man.
Wait, finish that.
Doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee.
That's what's in his spirit.
Right.
Right.
This man ain't right.
Nah.
Hey, let's give me that in her back. Let me show you something. You know what? Let's hold on to it. Let's get some more. Let's get some more on this order.
Nah, let's get the video because I want to show you how Esau lies. This started like 23 seconds. We're gonna go for like 2 minutes. That's all. I just want to show you Esau lies because, like I said, well, just play the video.
Play the video.
Tripled what it was last year. Major ammo manufacturers suggesting
it might be July. Pause right there. I want y'all to see this image. Right. When have you gone into a store like that and there's a black man with all his guns behind him
at the counter
talking about, how can I help you?
Never. Hey, it's funny you said that. I saw it was like the one gun store in America, and it's in Nebraska. That's like the one where a black man actually owns it.
Yeah.
But like you said, you ain't gonna see that nowhere. I know I ain't never seen
that
in my life.
Yep. In Nebraska.
In Nebraska. Yeah, I didn't know black people is prevalent in Nebraska.
Yeah.
In Omaha.
We are. And I saw on my way back, I was in like Missouri. I was outside of St. Louis, but it's just a little small town, and they had a big sign. They had a store, and on the big sign on the highway advertising over 3,000 guns and how much ammo they had. Wow. And this is just like within the last month.
Yes. In the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere.
Right. But you want to take them on. Because we don't understand. I think we like 30% of the population, something like that, if that. So when Esau is on the white man's side, just because they ain't in the Klan or they ain't in the whatever, they in agreement.
Right.
How do you know they in agreement? Because they ain't voted for you to get reparations yet. Ain't nobody stand up for you to do that.
Right.
So they shooting you.
One of the brothers up there told me that yesterday they had a rally, a Trump rally, and up there rally, and they had a parade, and he said he was looking, and because the road is a long road, he said he was looking and just as far as he could see, it was cars lined up with police escort with Trump flags and all of that. You know what I'm saying? They love to fly them big Confederate flags on the back of their trucks. I'm talking about the truck, the flag so big. When the truck stopped, it just draped the whole truck. You don't even know what kind of truck it is because the flag's so big.
And we seen that when we was traveling down with the camp that we had not too long ago.
Right.
I'm talking about the whole way down there.
Right.
The cars were endless. You see Trump supporters, flags going all the way down the highway. But that's how you know he got a lot of people.
And you know what they got, right? Right there on
that
side.
Yep,
that's
on
what
the inside.
That's what they rolling with. A flag and a gun. All right, let's go.
Play the video. Manufacturers suggesting it might be July 2021 or later for ammo to be fully stocked in stores as it was in January 2020, with ammo orders increasing 17 to 40% over the past 3 months. The November 3rd election will have a lot to say about that as will the aftermath in the weeks and months to follow it. The election and the aftermath of the election, combined with predicted COVID spikes in the fall and winter months, we may be looking at this getting worse. Vista Outdoors producers of federal premium, CCI, and other ammo, have suggested they have made major adjustments in operations to meet demand. I certainly haven't seen that in stores. When we go to SHOT Show in January, we will interview leading ammo manufacturers to find out what exactly is going on and what their predictions are. I want to make a note at this point that we will not be showing SHOT Show interviews on YouTube in January. We will be showing the top 10 list, but not the interviews. You can only see.
That's what I wanted. They ain't showing the interview. Hey, you don't need to know who these people are.
Right. Hey, go Deuteronomy 28:48. Let me show y'all something. This is proof that we under the curses. Because, like you said, we don't own bullet manufacturers.
Right.
We don't own gun manufacturers.
Right.
When you go to the NRA meeting, it's basically a white man meeting.
Right.
Black people are in the NRA. We not what's the word? We
ain't no power.
The NRA. We are in the NRA, but we not of the NRA. I like that. I like that. Man. Read that scripture. I'm gonna show you. This is why we can't go to war with this man.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
Bring it out.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Read.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
In what?
In want of all things.
So if the gun manufacturer is your enemy in war, what are you going to do when he says, hey, oh, you the military? All right, we can't sell y'all. Sorry. Right. What you going to do then? That's why that talk of getting a military against Esau in this carnal state, that's nonsense. You can't do it.
Right.
Come on now,
You cannot do it. And when you look at the history throughout the Israelites, when you understand who you are, you Israelites that are part of these militias, go look up what happened to the Zealots. Mm-hmm. Go look up to anybody that went against the powers of God when it wasn't of God. Go to 1 Maccabees real quick.
Yep.
Let's get that history real quick. I'm going to show you out of the Bible what happens when you're not moving in accord with what God tells you to do.
Bring it out.
And during the time of the Maccabees, they was able to defeat the other nations when God set them up. He already told us how we was going to be delivered here in America. It ain't happening like that. Christ is going to be our deliverer. You got that? The story when they wanted the 1 Maccabees 5. Or the 2 Maccabees 5.
Second Maccabees.
Yeah, 1 Maccabees 5. Started first. Absolutely right.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse
56.
Yep. 56.
Because, and I'm going to preface this. What a lot of these black militia groups are trying to do, they want a name. You can see it in the spirit of their leaders. They want to set themselves up to be some great thing. They don't want to wait on the Messiah. They don't want to wait on Christ to deliver us. They want to be the reason why this is happening, that is happening.
Right.
Read that.
Want a name.
Right. They want a name.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 56. Joseph, the son of Zacharias, and Azarias, captains of the garrisons, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done.
So they heard about what Judas and Jonathan had did in the land. They saw them slaying people and making a name for themselves. What they do? Read.
Wherefore they said, let us also get us a name.
Let us what?
Also get us a name.
So when you're going back through the history, you see some of our great leaders and what they did. You see what Joshua did. You see what the Maccabees did.
Right.
Who's Judas? Who's some other leaders? David. All our great forefathers, and they trying to mimic that. But the Most High ain't dealing with us like that.
Right.
He gave us spiritual powers, and he gave us the understanding of the scriptures.
That's right.
To know that we got to wait on God. But keep reading, though.
And go fight against the heathen that are round about us.
Read.
So when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went toward Jamnia. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them.
So they went to fight against the enemy outside of the accord of God. Let's see what happened.
And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight.
That what?
That Joseph and Azarias were put to flight.
They were beat. They were defeated because it was not of God to go to war.
Right.
Read.
And pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men.
Read.
Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brethren.
You see that? Because they were not obedient unto Judas and his brothers.
Right.
There's an order. When Christ left, remember, even before Christ left the scene, he told Peter, put up that sword. Now ain't the time.
Right.
When Christ came and descended on the earth, they said, hey, will thou now establish the kingdom? He said, it ain't time. He descended. You're going to know we ain't fighting like that no more until Christ returns. They had the scriptures and didn't get it. Now we got the understanding, and we still trying to do the same thing. We think to do some valiant act amongst ourselves. Read that last line. But thought
to do some valiant act.
That's what our people are chasing today. That's why you're seeing them trying to raise up in arms against the enemy.
Right. And you know, we talk hard.
Right.
We talk hard.
Right.
But it's just like getting in a fight. You can throw a punch, but once you catch one, then everything changes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like you got a gun, you run around shooting, but then when them bullets start flying back, you know that changed everything.
There you go.
I'm gonna show you that. Stay in Maccabees. Go over to 9 and 5. Let's see how quickly the hearts of men change.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 9 and verse 5.
Bring it
Now
out.
Judas had pitched his tents at Elazar.
Go ahead.
And thousands chosen men,
read that
and
again.
3,000 chosen men with them.
So he had 3,000 chosen men. Go ahead.
Who seeing the multitude of the other army to be so great, were sore afraid.
So wait a minute. So now, just like, what was it, NAFC, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, when you see Esau just start just coming out the woods.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The kids, you know, all of them coming out and with multiple weapons apiece. You know, you got your 1 or 2 guns.
Right.
You know, each one of them coming, they got a what they call them, gun chest.
Right.
Damn. Yeah, a whole
They
arsenal.
all got an arsenal with them, right?
Why
Go
are
ahead.
you on it?
Read on.
Yeah, read on.
Whereupon many conveyed themselves out of the host, insomuch as there abode of them no more but 800 men.
So it's like what we read in the history of Gideon, right? So they hey, you see how
I don't know, bro.
Hey, I'm going home, bro. You coming with me or what?
Y'all tripping. I'm out.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. When Judas therefore saw that his host slipped away, and that the battle pressed upon him, he was sore troubled in his mind, and much distressed, that he had no time to gather them together. Nevertheless, unto them that remained, he said, let us arise and go up against our enemies, if peradventure we may be able to fight with them. But they dehorted him, saying, we shall never be able. Let us now rather save our lives, and hereafter we will return with our brethren and fight against them, for we are but few.
Verse 10 is the point. Read that.
Then Judas said, God forbid that I should do this thing and flee away from them. If our time be come, let us die manfully for our brethren, and let us not stain our honor.
So you got a lot of brothers that talk tough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they ain't really about that life. They ain't really about, because you know what? For one, they don't have nothing to die for.
Right. That's heavy.
Right. Hey,
that's heavy.
Can we go to 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 11 to show you that, hey, yeah, it's all talk, right? But all they don't even have to pick up a gun. They don't even have to pick up a weapon. They don't even got to meet you in the street. All they got to do is what? Attack the supplies that they giving you. All right, read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 4 and verse 11. Even unto this present hour, we both hunger and thirst and are naked.
Right. It says, even to this present hour, we still depend on our enemies for the food, the water, and the thirst, right? So all they have to do is cut off those supplies, just like what the cap was speaking about. If you go back in the history, you look at whenever an army wanted to take over the city, what would they do? They would besiege the city. And they cut off what? Our food supply. That's all they got to do.
And it's done.
Exactly. You're done with it.
Game over.
Yeah, game over.
Used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road. Purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling.
These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. I.U.I.C, we deliver the truth.